Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Michael Weir. I'm a technical marketing engineer for cybersecurity here at Ingram Micro. I am here today to talk to you about a subject called callback phishing, a special new kind of phishing that's becoming coming to the spotlight recently because, of course, we need more kinds. A little quick agenda for today. So first, we're just going to say what is callback phishing because it's not a term a lot of people have heard before. We're going to talk about why it matters now. Why is it in the news? Why am I bringing it up? And we're going to talk about, because I always focus on the MSPs, how can an MSP help in this situation? And even if you're not an MSP, if you watch this, these are tips you could use in your business too. I just focus on MSPs because these days, with this shortage of cybersecurity folks out there, it's what a lot of people use. First off, what is callback phishing? So callback phishing is a three-step process. It's a phishing email, phishing. It's a call, the callback part, usually followed by an install. So first, the email. It comes from a fake cybersecurity company, and they claim we need to have an immediate call. You've been breached. Call us. Something went wrong. Call us. This is your security department. This is your provider. Whatever. Call us. When they call the number in the email, and the victim is told, hey, we can fix it. Let us in. They're told to install a remote access Trojan or similar program for remediation, at which point the victim installs the rat, and then the bad actor monetizes this action somehow, whether it be ransomware, data exfiltration, extortion, what have you. Fix it indeed is what I actually put in my notes here. So why does it matter right now? The reason it matters right now is there's currently a major callback phishing campaign going on. CrowdStrike detected this phishing campaign because one of the emails coming from it was branded with their logo saying it was from them, and they cryptically told us that other major security manufacturers were being affected as well. It's a pretty decent email. Looking at what they posted, it claims to come from an outsourced data security provider, like an MSP. It cites a real standard in it. It cites the CCPA in the sample letter they gave. It references, hey, look at your company policy. This happened or that happened. Please refer back to blah, blah, blah. And then one thing I found interesting is at the bottom it gives what looks like a very specific case number. It doesn't just say, hey, call us in this matter. It says, please reference case number, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that's probably the same case number for everybody. But, basically what I'm trying to say is it's a convincing email. Now, the reason bad actors are starting to use callback phishing as opposed to regular phishing, because most people, when they take anti-phishing training, it aims to say don't reduce click-throughs, don't reduce click-throughs, don't reply, don't download the attachment, that kind of thing. Don't call that number isn't something that's in a lot of phishing training yet. And then the third aspect of it is, of course, the human element. The human is the weakest part of any system. Callback phishing knows that, hey, we can exploit that. So you're going to get connected to a real voice. This real voice probably read the news this morning. This real voice hears the inflection in your voice and can react to the current situation faster than one can make a phishing email campaign. So an example of how this would work is a bad actor would purchase a phishing email campaign or rent one, off of I forget what the Silk Road's new equivalent is called, on the Tor network, say, all right, we're going to rent this phishing email, the server, everything, we're going to get it out, and we only really have to do it once. We just have to make it urgent enough that people call us, because we can do all the updating and the locality information and all that while we're talking to them on the phone to make it more convincing. So how can MSPs help? Or, in other words, how can anybody help stop this? So this is the chain that we were just looking at previously. And how you could stop that would be something like this. Email, of course, phishing protection. Since most of these phishing networks are rented, leased, purchased, that sort of thing, they're known bad senders. They're coming from known bad locations, domains, that kind of thing. So good phishing protection will weed a lot of them out. In terms of people making the call, this is the hardest one. Part of what you have to do is employee education. Say, hey, we'll call you, or don't call anything other than this number. But the call is really the hard part to stop. The install, this is where there's something more proactive and reactive you can do. A big part of it is endpoint application control. As part of your endpoint protection suite, you've got to get something in there that doesn't let them install this Trojan, doesn't let them get the rat onto the system to begin with. And also EDR, MDR, XDR, let's say they are, I'm fortunate to say, dumb enough to get caught up in this scheme, and they install that Trojan, and a bad actor gets access, and a good EDR, MDR, XDR suite We'll make sure that that doesn't move through the rest of the network. It gets killed at that level on that desktop or laptop or what have you that's been infected. Zero trust network access or zero trust access will help with this too, because then even if it does spread, it spreads to the least possible places it could possibly spread inside your network. Conclusion on that. Now, you're probably realizing if you've watched one of my videos, the conclusion is almost exactly the same for every single one of them. It's always, let us help you, which first of all, feel free to contact me. I can walk you through this, whether you're an MSP, value-added reseller, what have you, just an individual we can connect to, with someone you can connect with me to help you get through the situation safely and securely without falling prey to being a victim. We have www.securitylinecard.com lists all of the vendors we have in terms of cybersecurity at Ingram Micro and what areas they help with, such as who is an MDR vendor, who is a good email security vendor, that kind of thing. What's their product called? Then, of course, imaginext.ingrammicro.com/security for some general playbooks, trends, thought leadership advice, that kind of thing. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to realize the promise of technology.